Coffee and Convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody here in the building. You guys already know what time it is. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider, man. Salute to the chat, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet on the way in, meaning hit them thumbs up. It definitely helps the channel. And also, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on our way. We'll be at 23,000 subscribers today. It's because of you guys, man. Salute to everybody here in the comments section. Let me know what city, what state, where you at, where you watching from home, work, in the comments section real quick. Once again, man, thank you guys so much for being a part of what we do over here at OLV Network, man. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be right here with me. Salute to Philip, Jesus, Chili Man. I see all my guys. Feel good, Raider Nation. All my people in the building. Warren, all my guys, Punchy's in the building. Dwayne, James, 308. I see everybody, different countries, different cities, different states, man. Salute. There's a lot to talk about today, you guys. An interesting name kind of popped out of nowhere, right? Former NFL head coach. It looks as though he is trying to make his way back to the NFL as a coordinator. We're going to talk about this. There's a few other things. We're going to talk about Andy Reid and what a few interesting words that he said pertaining to our Las Vegas Raiders. It looks as though we may have been that team that woke up that sleeping giant, the Kansas City Chiefs, that helped lead them to the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about that here soon. And we're going to talk about some potential OC candidates and some other things, and also what it would take to move up to go get our guy at the quarterback position, man. So once again, salute to the 300 plus people already here in the building. You already know what time it is, man. Let's get our coffee on and let's get to talking about our Raiders, man. Oh yeah, we can talk a little bit about the Senior Bowl as well. Salute to Max. I know we have some representation out there. For those who are worried about Champ Kelly and his position now, with our Raiders, assistant GM, GM, whatever. I'm going to tell you guys this. Champ Kelly is in attendance right now in Alabama. So he is still a major part of what we are doing over here and what we are building out there in Henderson, Nevada. So for those who have not seen the update, Champ Kelly is out there at the Senior Bowl, getting caught up on a bunch of, collegiate talents that are about to enter the NFL draft in April. So once again, for those who are so upset about Champ Kelly not being a part of this team, he's still under contract. At this point, he will move forward as our assistant GM, and he's still out there, analyzing talent and all that good stuff for the draft come April, man. So there we have it. Let me see. Yo, King, I really think we are out on a quarterback in the draft. Steve, there's no way. There's no way. We're going to leave with something. In the words of Denzel, you know what I'm saying? We are going to leave with something, Steve. We're going to leave with something, come from the trenches. We're going to leave with something. Whether that's moving up to go get one of our guys, or if one of those guys shits the bed in the interviewing process or at the combine and just falls into our laps, we're going to leave this draft with a quarterback, regardless of anything. I mean, we pretty much at this point only have one starting level quarterback on this roster, and we know Jimmy G is going to move on post June 1st. He will be cut, you guys. New OC, We already see when Antonio Pierce did. He started the young pup Aiden O'Connell over Jimmy G the entire season, outside of, I believe, one rep where Aiden had to go out with like a finger injury or something like that. So he's gone. The one thing, though, we have to keep an eye on is Brian Hoyer has one more year left on his deal, and I believe he's owed a little bit over $2 million. And we saved no money cutting him. So I don't know if we're going to keep Hoyer around as that veteran. He's 38, 39 years old. We may keep him to just hold that clipboard and help, the young pups. I don't know. Or he may retire, but I don't see him leaving over $2 million on the table before retirement. It's an easy lick. All he has to do is sit on the bench or sit on the practice squad all year long and take that money. So, but we save absolutely not a dime moving on from Brian Hoyer. So he may be there as that veteran guy holding up that clipboard, or, on a practice squad, just getting paid an astronomical amount of money. So, but we're leaving with something, Steve. We are leaving with something, whether that is standing pack at 13 and Bo Nix falls into our laps, or if JJ McCarthy is the guy, which I'm hearing, this regime is not very big fans of. If they take a leap of faith and just decide on mortgaging the farm to move up to go get one of the top guys, maybe Michael Penix Jr. falls into our lap. I'm saying? His name is kind of slowly falling out of the headlines. He is out there today at the Senior Bowl as well, you guys. But since that, beating by Michigan, the name is kind of fell off, fell out of the headlines per se. So I don't know if maybe Michael Penix falls into our laps, but we're leaving with something. Yeah, hey, Primos, that is crazy. That is crazy. He is definitely really, truly betting on himself, and he's betting on that organization. Don't get me wrong. I am very happy for that Detroit Lions fan base. They deserve to run it back with Ben Johnson there as an OC. But at the end of the day, head coaching positions don't come by all day, every day. Who's to say the Detroit Lions, take a back seat next year and that offense collapses? You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. They can get absolutely a lot better, right? They still have their starting quarterback under he has one more year left on his deal. One more draft can definitely solidify that offense even more. But that is scary for Ben Johnson to say, you know what, I'm going to stay in Detroit. And this could be a sign of, I know he is Dan Campbell's guy, but I'm going to be real. Maybe he's saying, you know what, I'm going to stick around, because all the flack that Dan Campbell's getting for his fourth down play calling and going forward and not taking the points, maybe he sticks around, and if they shit the bed, maybe that is Ben Johnson's job. Maybe Detroit ends up being the job that, at some point Ben Johnson takes the head coaching position over. I'm just saying, I don't want to put that into the universe because I like Dan Campbell. I definitely do. But maybe he's waiting for that head coaching position. But for him to turn down the Commanders in the 9th inning like that, wow, it speaks volumes, because they have the 2nd pick in this year's draft. He can literally go out there and pretty much, outside of potentially Caleb Williams, and maybe even Caleb Williams falls to 2. You know what I mean? I've told you, I'm hearing rumblings of him forcing his way to DC. He's from the area, but for Ben Johnson to turn down a job with a top 3 pick where he can go get one of the top quarterbacks, it's flabbergasting to me. This guy may not get another opportunity to be a head coach. So for him to run it back with Detroit, that speaks volumes about how much whether there's some security behind closed doors, like I just spoke on, or he really just truly believes in the organization and wants to win a championship with them. I don't know. But wow, for Ben Johnson to turn down not just one, but that Seattle job may have been for the taking as well. For him to turn down multiple head coaching positions to return as a coordinator. Wow. So there's a few names out there that they're still looking at. McDonald, Dan Quinn, there's a few other options, but wow, to be a Commander fan today, that has to be absolutely nasty work, man. Salute to everybody here in the building. Salute to my boy, Brian Ramos, on a $2 donation. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Salute to all my people in the building. I see Rick. I see my brother Hug D's in the building. I see my brother Hammer in the building. Max says, Quinyon Mitchell, corner from Toledo, a dog. This is the guy that we've been talking about. And to be real with you, Max, there's first-round talent there. And I see a lot of mock drafts where Quinyon Mitchell goes in the first round. The talent is there, but, a lot of people look at him as playing for a smaller program with Toledo and so on and so forth. They don't know if he can translate to the next level. I'm going to tell you right now, Quinyon Mitchell was a dog at the cornerback position out of Toledo. And a lot of people have him as a first-round talent, and a lot of people have him going in that mid to later first round. So keep an eye on that name right there. Quinyon Mitchell, corner out of Toledo. He is a dog, definitely, Max. Salute to my guy, Brian, once again. Can we flip Jimmy Jalapeno for anything, Docs? No. He'll end up being, a backup somewhere else, and potentially a guy that will be forced into the starting lineup because their starter went down, like Cleveland. Look at them with Deshaun Watson going down and, them having to go get Flacco. I can see him being that kind of guy moving forward, that, that backup guy that if he has to come in and play a few games here and there, he definitely can because of all the experience that he has as a quarterback one. But no, you're not going to get anything, especially with that contract. No, because no one's going to want to pay Jimmy G starter money to be a backup. You know what I mean? So I don't see it. I just see us cutting him, moving on. There's no real cap hit in 2024, I believe. Or no, it is. I think it's like $12 million, but you save a lot of money getting rid of him post June 1st. But then you're going to have to pay some extra money in 2025, I believe. I forgot how that contract is, assembled, but we owe him some money regardless. But moving on from him post June 1st will be very smart. Put some extra money on the books, and we can go out and continue to build that defense and maybe fill in some spots on that O-line. Salute to Ralph, my guy. What is your opinion on Bo Nix for our Raiders? I've talked about this numerous times, Ralph. To be honest with you, he's not my favorite quarterback in this draft. He'll probably be somewhere around that 5-6 range. But if he falls into our laps at 13 and they decide on taking him, I'm cool. I know a lot of people think that he's just this check down warrior and so on and so forth. I look at it as he played that system perfectly out there in Oregon. I know he lost to Michael Penix Jr. twice and so on and so forth, but I think the guy only turned the ball over 3 times, threw a crazy amount of touchdowns. He did not turn the ball over a lot. So that's one thing that I love, Ralph, is a smart quarterback, a guy that, played within the system and did not turn the football over. That's, to me, that's a game manager to a T. A lot of people, like I said, check down warrior. I've seen him spread the football around, throw the football down the field. He does have an arm. A lot of people question his awareness. A lot of people question not going through all of his reads. I kind of equate that also to the system that he was in. You know what I mean? Getting rid of the football pretty quick and, some of those check downs and so on and so forth. But I like Bo Nix. He's not my first, my second, third, even fourth option. But if it falls, if that's how it ends up being, Ralph, then I hope that if we end up with a Bo Nix, we go get a veteran in free agency, whether that's Russell Wilson when he's cut, or if you look at another option, I don't know. But if you're going into next season with just Bo Nix and Aiden O'Connell, that could be kind of spooky, man. Salute to Ralph. Salute to LT. Helani plus Latu. Hope Raiders do their homework. For those who have no idea what he's talking about, Helani, the running back, Boise State, and then Latu, the defensive end out there at UCLA. And we're going to talk about UCLA here shortly as well. My apologies, y'all. My dog is jumping up on top of jumping up, trying to eat the food off the table. But I know how you feel, LT, about Latu, and we're going to talk about UCLA out here as well because Chip Kelly just popped up today, you guys. That's going to be the next thing that we talk about. But this is you guys' show. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But I know how you feel, LT, about Helani, the running back out there in Boise State, and your guy Latu, man. Salute to my boy Patrick B on the $10 donation. Also, appreciate you, brother. Any DT free agent that would be a difference maker day one. Players want to play for AP. There's two guys. And then I'm gonna put a third in there, right? And I don't think a difference maker, but he definitely was a difference maker for our team. Nose ring, y'all. Nose ring. No bugger. Nose ring. No bugger. My apologies. Let me go ahead. There we go. But there's two of them. It's Chris Jones out there in Kansas City. He's gonna get an astronomical amount of money in free agency. And Christian Wilkerson, which I think Miami will end up franchise tagging him if they do not pay him big time money. Those are the two big difference makers at the defensive tackle position for me. But there's a name out there that a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? I thought a difference maker was Adam Butler. Bring him back. Use him as a rotational piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying a guy that can come in and start for you this upcoming season, but a guy that played fairly well for us. But there's two difference makers to me. It's Chris Jones, Christian Wilkerson, and then the field. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to bring Adam Butler back. He performed really well for us this last season, man. Salute to my guy, Patrick B. Appreciate you, brother. And then we've talked about Newton, the young pup that's going to be coming out of Illinois this year in the draft. That to me is going to be a difference maker also. And then you can start going down there and looking at some of those Texas boys, Byron, you can look at T'Vondre Sweat. There's a few options in the draft, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, difference makers in terms of free agency, there's two of them. It's Chris Jones and it's Christian Wilkerson. And then there's the rest. Salute to my brother, Patrick B. Salute to my dog, man. I appreciate you, John, my brother, man. My lone moderator, and a guy that definitely just helps us so much over here at Shieldmore, man. Salute to my guy, John, gifted 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships, man. Salute to all the new members in the building because of our brother, John. Hug D's, man. Salute to my guy, man. Appreciate you, brother, as always. Salute to my guy, Raider for Life. We need to get Snead or Jones from KC, both free agents. Yeah, man. Snead has definitely earned himself a major contract this upcoming offseason. And if they end up winning the Super Bowl, I definitely see potentially both of those guys walking in free agency and getting a crazy amount of money. But I think Snead has definitely earned himself a $20 million deal because he has been balling for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I still think he's only around 26, 27 years old. So, yes. But yeah, we definitely have to look at both of those guys and prioritize those guys. You want to make your team weak. The team's weak in the division, right? You want to make sure your rivals become weak in the offseason. And if you can strip them of one of those talents, man, hey, man, phenomenal. Salute to my guy, Raider for Life. Salute to my brother, Pastor Raider, one of my guys that's been here since day one. Salute to my brother, man. Salute to Oklahoma and salute to the 209. Let me see. If you guys want to become a member, hit the link. It's pinned up top. One of the best ways to support the channel. Appreciate you, brother. Jersey boy said Christian Wilkins is a whole weirdo. Yo, that's funny. That's funny. Somehow my membership lapsed. You know how down. Yeah, I already know, my brother. I appreciate you. So let's talk about it, you guys. I don't know if you've seen the news, but today, once again, a well-known Raider hater, Mike Florio, put some more Raiders news into the universe, right? It looks as though another name has emerged to become a potential offensive coordinator at the NFL level this offseason. Let me read this real quick, and I quote, when the news emerged earlier this month, and this is according to Pro Football Talk, this month that multiple teams are considering the possibility of hiring UCLA coach Chip Kelly to become the team's offensive coordinator. It could have been interpreted as a part of an effort by Kelly to get someone to consider him even more seriously. Nothing has materialized for Kelly so far. There's one team he might specifically be targeting: the Raiders. That's the word percolating out in Mobile, Alabama, where plenty of NFL folks are gathered for the Senior Bowl practices. With Antonio Pierce taking over as the head coach, the Raiders will need a good offensive coach. It's not known, however, whether Pierce would be interested in adding Kelly to his staff. Kelly has done well at the collegiate level, first at Oregon and more recently in UCLA. He lasted only 3 seasons with the Eagles and then 1 with the 49ers. As a college head coach, Kelly is 81-41. Pretty good record. He was 28-35 in the NFL. Not so good record. If there's a concerted effort by Kelly to get back to the NFL as a coordinator, it is apparent. It apparently hasn't taken root yet. We'll see if he can get the Raiders to give him a look. So I want to know, man, how do you guys feel about potentially bringing in a guy like Chip Kelly? We all know him from his days in Philadelphia, assembling the dream team. Right. I know he had Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick, Vince Young. Like they assembled the so-called dream team, right? It didn't work. They shit the bed, goes to the Niners, didn't work at all out there. We know the success that he had with Oregon. He absolutely went out there to UCLA and helped turn that program around. He had some success down there. How do you guys feel about this? I'm more worried about, kind of the Josh McDaniels effect with Chip Kelly. There's a lot of players that hated him You know what I'm saying? And it kind of sounds to me, remember, Josh McDaniels learned his lesson when he, he went back to being an OC after shitting the bed in Denver, right? And then, a lot of players didn't want to play for him and so on and so forth. This kind of reminds me of that type of situation. There was a lot of talk about players at the NFL level not liking the way that he coached, the way he went about his business. I'm all for second chances, but this really isn't a second chance, you guys. This is damn near third, fourth, fifth opportunity. Oregon, Philadelphia, Niners, UCLA. This is a fifth stop here pretty much in terms of, Chip Kelly. I'm going to be real with you guys. Yeah, he did trade away Shady McCoy as well, Calvin. He definitely shit the bed with that move. But how do you guys feel about this? Me personally, I'd rather stay away from Chip Kelly. There's better options out there. I'd rather have a Kubiak. We're still interested in him, even though we can't talk to him until after the Super Bowl. And we're still very much interested in Cliff Kingsbury as well to come in as our OC. I think there's two better options, maybe potentially even three better options. There still hasn't really been any Frank Reich news popping up out of the woodworks yet. But this to me is a situation where I would not want anything to do with at all. Maybe Chip Kelly becomes our OC and makes Britton Brown the best running back in the league, huh? How would y'all feel about that? 7th rounder at a UCLA. Well, Chip Kelly comes in and takes care of one of his own guys and turns Britton Brown into this success story at the running back position. Yeah, not gonna happen. But nah. Me personally, I think this is bullshit. It's the off season right now. Florio is always looking, for some shit to stir the pot, so to speak. We're one of the only open vacancies in terms of offensive coordinators right now. So, and Florio gets a lot of clicks off of our fan base, including me. I clicked on it to see what it was. So I just think this is more about shock value, more about clicks. Not saying that Chip maybe doesn't find a look here, and then maybe he does get an interview at some point. But there's only a few options left. And I don't see it. Me personally, I don't see it at all. And I'm cool off of bringing in Champ Kelly to be that guy. I know some people think that he kind of changed the way he goes about his business offensively, started running the football a little bit more. Chip Kelly loves to throw the football. And, that everybody always said that, he would not run the football. You're not going to find any success at the NFL level by doing that. Well, he did kind of change things a little bit, this past season or two out there. UCLA started kind of running the football a little bit more. But me personally, no, I don't think the personality fits. I don't know if he has what it takes to get it done at the next level in terms of being an offensive coordinator. Just go more for, I know he has head coaching experience. So there's that. But I personally would go with the Cliff Kingsbury over him because he's been at the NFL level in more recent memory. And I just like the way Cliff's offense is over a Chip Kelly. So me personally, no. Kubiak, Cliff Kingsbury, Frank Reich. No. Other than that, no. No. And yes, Broadway, I did see that. Hondo did allude to a surprise OC candidate with head coaching experience, right? So this could be Chip Kelly, and maybe I need to reach out to him. You know what? I'll call Hondo today and see if that was the guy that he was talking about. But it may be. But there's still some other guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a Frank Reich, a guy that has offense, or head coaching experience with the Carolina Panthers, and maybe his name just hasn't popped up yet. You know what I mean? Maybe these guys are still waiting, doing their due diligence, trying to see what Kubiak's going to do out there with the Niners. But Hondo did allude to another guy, a surprise candidate to take over this offense. So it could be Champ Kelly, but I'm hoping it's more along the lines of a Frank Reich. Oh yeah, hey, OG Vrabel, huh? Salute the Bo, man, my guy. What do you think Belichick's going to do, and do you think Jimmy G and McDaniels will follow him? Well, I mean, if they're going to follow him into unemployment, Bo, then maybe. I think Bill Belichick takes the year off. After Atlanta hired Raheem Morris as their head coach, Belichick interviewed over there twice, didn't get the head coaching position. There's not too many spots open and available right now, Bo. I'm going to be real with you. I think Belichick takes a year off. Kind of sits around, looks at the landscape next year and sees if there's anywhere that he fits. But I think the game at this point has passed up Bill Belichick. He's still the greatest head coach of all time. Not taking anything away from him. 6 rings is unmatched. But I just think the game has passed him up. So, but if they follow him, they'll probably follow him into the unemployment line, Chef, because I don't see any place right now that fits Bill Belichick and what he's trying to do. And there's, like I said, there's not that many openings left at this point. So, but if he does get a job somewhere in the near future, I do believe that Josh McDaniels would probably follow him and be the OC, but not Jimmy G. I think that people now know who Jimmy G is, and moving forward, he'll be like a career backup. Maybe go over where they go and be a backup, but I don't know. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. I appreciate you guys. As always, man, wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Salute to my brother.com. Yo, my brother, we have to stay in the mindset we're on. We're on a fresh era. That old way of doing things is over. Fuck these ancient coaches. And I hear you, brother. And that's another reason why I'm very, very cool off of bringing in the likes of a Chip Kelly. Yeah, I am good. I am good. There's better candidates out there. Kubiak will be phenomenal. Comes from a great football tree. Is coming from a great program with the Niners. A great umbrella of Shanahan in them. You already know that, right? And then Cliff Kingsbury, a guy that's had some recent success as a head coach. At one point, people tend to forget that they were like 10-0, 11-0 in Arizona, and then they ended up shitting the bed. And I think they lost out that year, ended up losing in the playoffs. But I'd rather go fresh. Dot. I hear you, my brother. Salute to you. BT says Vrabel and AP would be something. It definitely would. I don't know what it would be, but it definitely would be something. But I'm not taking anything away from from Vrabel, man. I mean, this dude has been a great coach at the NFL level. He helped turn things around out there in Nashville. Much respect to Vrabel, man. And I know that those players out there love Vrabel. I've talked to people that are close to the situation out there, and you guys know one of my good friends, one of my brothers, man, is Jeffrey Simmons, guy out there, and I've heard some things about how Vrabel coaches, and I know that he's very, very beloved out there. So I wouldn't be against it, but they'd have to have a plan, because bringing in a guy like Antonio Pierce as the head coach, a guy that you've just taken the label off, and then bringing a guy like Vrabel to be an OC or an assistant head coach or something like that, it puts an extra amount of pressure on AP to get it done, man, because Vrabel's back there. If you fuck up, I'll take over this job. And I've had success at the NFL level. So, that would be very interesting, though, BT. Salute to my guys. Salute to Larry as well, my dog, my brother, on the $5. I would be severely disappointed if we were to get Kelly at OC. I would bet AP is out in 2 years. If he was, it'd be a large mistake. Salute to my guy, Larry. I don't want to put that kind of energy into the universe and put AP out in 2 years. I don't know what Chip would do at the NFL level, Larry, to be real with you. I just don't think he'll be successful. He wasn't successful in Philadelphia. He wasn't successful with the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? I'm over giving guys second opportunities. Like, I was all for, once we didn't sign Jim Harbaugh and Ed Dobbs, I was like, you know what? I'm on board for this whole Josh McDaniels and Ziegler experience, right? Everybody deserves another chance, right? I seen Pete Carroll, come back into the NFL and win a Super Bowl, almost 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna be real, man. I don't want to do the whole second chance thing again. And you can even say that with Cliff Kingsbury, right? Oh, well, you're giving him a second opportunity. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, he had some success as a head coach, and he's helped groom a lot of these great young quarterbacks. He's had his hands, in the pot with Patrick Mahomes and Caleb Williams and, and Kyler Murray and these guys. So I'm for bringing in a guy like that who's had some proven success with these young quarterbacks. But yeah, Chip Kelly, I'm cool. I'm cool. Watts, definitely. Latu's definitely going to be a first-round pick. He's going to be probably top 2, top 3 defensive end in this draft. He's a dog. He's that good. Justin says, let's sign Russell Wilson and draft Joe Milton. Hey, I'm not against going to get Joe Milton. You guys see, I've taken him in a lot of my mock drafts. The young kid out of Tennessee with a massive arm. I'm telling y'all now, I think he may have the strongest arm in this draft. He just has to put it all together. Outside of that, the arm strength is there, but we'd have to have a great mind that can help shape him at the next level in terms of being a quarterback. Can he make all the throws? Will he be able to process at the next level? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe if you bring in the Cliff Kingsbury, maybe he does help Joe Milton be that guy. And everybody knows Joe Milton will probably be a mid-round guy unless his name starts, his stock starts rising during the combine, which is very possible because he has that kind of arm strength. But I wouldn't be against that, Justin. You guys know how I feel about bringing in Russell Wilson. That's my last option. That's my last option. But if we brought in a guy like him and took a Joe Milton in those mid to later rounds, I'm cool with it. I'm definitely cool with it. Salute to the 800 plus people in the building. Salute to you guys, man. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. Salute the Lake Show. Bringing nothing but young, new energy. We need no more of this old money. Yeah. And right now, Lake, with bringing in the likes of already Marvin Lewis, an older gentleman who's had some success at the NFL level, Tom Coughlin, a guy that AP is leaning on heavy, to be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? A guy that had a lot of success as a head coach, not so much as a general manager, but a guy that has had a lot of success at the NFL level, but they're older guys. Yeah, we need some young, fresh minds to help lead this new charge out there in Las Vegas, man, because I don't want to see another year go by where we do not make the playoffs. Real talk, man. It's time to have some success now and not later on down the line because I'm sick of waiting. I am. I'm sick of waiting. I know you guys are sick of waiting as well. Whatever we have to do in order to assemble this great coaching staff that can put it all together, we need instant results. I don't want to sit around and wait another year or 2, 3 years. I'm cool. I can't do this shit. My heart can't take it, man. You know what I'm saying? In the last however many years we've made it in 2016 and 2021, I want to get some more sustainable success and start getting there more, every other year at least. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is just, man. Salute the Raider Smoke. I came up with a new name for KC. It's the Kansas Swifty Queefs. Help spread the word. Salute to my guy Smoke, man. Salute to Ben. Now I'm gonna watch tape on Milton. I'm intrigued now, dog. Ben, watch him. This guy has a strong ass arm, very Jamarcus Russell-esque with the arm strength. With the arm strength. I know Raider fans don't want to hear the name Jamarcus Russell, but I'm gonna tell you this: arm strength is definitely there. Let me see. Scholar says, I think we wait on Kubiak. We could really end up fucking ourselves over in the future. We should just sign Cliff Kingsbury and call it good. Well, this is the thing. The good thing is right now, Skylar, there's no other real option for Cliff Kingsbury. And I think that's the reason the Raiders are willing to potentially sit this one out and wait for Kubiak and wait for the Super Bowl to be over. Because all the other options, all the other jobs that he interviewed for are off the board. At this point, you guys, I don't think there's any other place that Cliff Kingsbury can go but back to USC, with this guy Lincoln Riley. So I think he's kind of stuck in limbo, kind of sitting around waiting to see, is this my job or not? Because if not, I'm going back to the collegiate level. You know what I mean? So I think right now at this point, we can afford to sit back and wait and see what QB can do, because unless there's another surprising team that pops up out of left field and brings Cliff Kingsbury in, Philadelphia went and signed Kellen Moore. You know what I mean? I thought that was the one team that we would have to worry about in terms of competition for Cliff Kingsbury's services. And they went out and signed Kellen Moore immediately, damn near. And then they went and got Vic Fangio. So their coaching staff is pretty much rounded out. But I think that we can kind of kick back a little bit and kick our feet up and say, okay, well, if it's not Kubiak, we still got Cliff Kingsbury on standby. I think those are two pretty good options. Raider Lux, no, they just hired Arthur Smith. They just hired him as their offensive coordinator. The Steelers are off. They're off the table as well. They just signed Arthur Smith, the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. So, Mark, the Commanders and Seahawks, but they're still looking for their head coach. You know what I mean? They're still looking for their head coaches. So there's still some time with those. I'm talking about teams that already have their head coach in play. There's only two teams. They got to find out who their guys are. They got to find out who the head guys are before they decide on bringing in offensive coordinators. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say that Cliff Kingsbury matches up with what the Commanders or the Seahawks are trying to do? Jer says, Tua's brother is a dog. Look him up. Oh, I know about him. Mr. Maryland. I know all about him. Know all about him. He's not his brother. I'll tell you that. But I wouldn't be mad if you end up taking a flyer on him in the later rounds. Salute the Rose Town native. Target Daniels in the draft or get Fields. Salute to my guys. Very easy to say that, my brother, which I would love it. And I think they are going to target him because we know how much Antonio Pierce loves Jaden Daniels. But it's just going to take a lot in order to move up to go get him. You know what I mean? But we're definitely going to be making calls. I promise you that. I think Tom Telesco wants to make a splash. I think he also wants to kill off that narrative that, you know, he won't move up and down the board like that. You know what I mean? I think he's only moved up in the first round maybe once or twice in his whole general manager career. So maybe he wants to make a splash, you know, and go up and make that move. I don't know, but I just don't know how much it's going to cost at this point. But Justin Fields is a definite option. Definite. If Chicago decides on keeping that first pick and taking Caleb Williams or Drake May or even the Jaden Daniels. I know he's old, but how about Pete Carroll as OC? Nah. You know, all the success that he's had, pride and purpose, he's not going anywhere if he's not getting a head coaching position. So Pete Carroll would do the Bill Belichick thing and take a year off before he accepts an offensive coordinator position. And I think, to be honest with you, Carroll has done so much at the NFL level, at a high level. He's coming off a playoff appearance. You know what I'm saying? And not this year, but you know, last year they were in the playoffs, right? With Geno Smith at the quarterback position. And they were only a game off this year. So I don't ever think, you know, with all the success that he's had, I don't think he'd ever revert back to being a coordinator. And Pete Carroll's more of a defensive-minded guy anyway, Pride. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a guy that focuses on the defensive side of the football. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's one of the architects of the Legion of Boom, him and Dan Quinn and all that. So we already have our defensive guy. You know, so we have Patrick Graham. And it looks as though he's not going anywhere. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building. Yeah, Tim there and Dominic, both of them said he's more of he's a defensive guy anyway. Exactly. Yep, it looks as though Arthur Smith is headed. Yep, he just took that job out there in Pittsburgh. Let me see. Salute to my brother Raider Man in the building. Salute, Docs. No on Williams for me. Daniels, yes. Look, I'd take either one of them. At this point, they're both potential generational talents. I take either one of them, Raider Man. It just depends on what you have to spend to move up and do it. You know what I mean? But I would take either one, Raider Man. I understand some people's reservations about Caleb Williams. I get it. I understand it. Some people don't like the, eccentric personality, the painting of the nails, the crying in the stands with his mom. I'm going to be real with you. I don't give a fuck about any of that. If you're a baller and you can win us some football games for the next 10 to 15 years, go get him. I don't care about what he does with his nails and how much he cries in his mom's lap and shit. That don't mean anything to me. I want to win football games. But I hear you, my brother, and it's a yes for me on either one of them guys. Salute to my guy. Salute to Bo once again on the $5 donation. Also, what about Joe Brady? Bills OC or Deuce Staley from Detroit? I don't think they go anywhere. Bo, I think those guys stay with their respective clubs. I don't think they go anywhere, to be honest with you. The Bills have a lot of weapons out there on the offensive side of the football. They had a lot of injuries this year, you know what I mean? And they were just starting to kind of figure it out at the end of the year and took a shit, you know what I mean, against the Chiefs. But I don't think he goes anywhere, and I definitely don't think that Deuce Staley leaves Detroit at all. He's their running backs coach, I believe, right, Bo? I think he's going to stick it out there. I think that Ben Johnson at some point is going to help make Deuce Staley a very, very rich man. But I don't think he leaves in Detroit at all. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building. If Chip Kelly comes to the NFL, Pete Carroll is more likely the head coach for UCLA. Okay. Crosstown rival goes from USC to UCLA. Okay. Tyree says, did you see Hondo's report saying it would be a mistake for the Raiders to trade up? You guys know I love Hondo, but I don't have to – everything that he says I don't have to agree with. And if that's what he said, I didn't see the report, but I think he's totally wrong. I think he's 150,000% off with that take. Like at what point do you decide on making that move? You know, this is the thing. Respect to Hondo, right? He's been a writer at a high level for a long time. But at the end of the day, he hasn't been a Raider as long as we have been. And to be real with you, he's really not a Raider now. You know what I mean? He just covers our team and, you know, and he does a really good job at it. But I'm going to be real with you, man. That sounds like someone that hasn't really covered this team too long. Because at the end of the day, there's a time and a place to go up and get your guy. We tried it one time. with Jamarcus Russell. It didn't work, right? Well, we didn't have to move up for him. We were already there. But I'm just saying, like, at this point, you got to take an out. You have to take a shot. And this is the draft to do it. This is the draft to do it. I've been a Raider fan my whole life. And I think any other Raider fan that's been around this for 30, 40 plus years understands the severity of going up to get the guy this year. Simple and plain. You know what I mean? But, you know, some people, you know, have different, you know, views on things. You know what I'm saying? He may want to go get a veteran. He may want to stand pat and think that one of those other guys, a Michael Penix or a Bo Nix or a JJ McCarthy, could be the guy to get it done. Me personally, I'll probably only have, if I'm lucky, another 30 years on this universe, 40 years left. I can't sit around and wait for these guys to do the right thing and go up and go get one of these guys. I don't think you're going to see a QB class like this, to be real, y'all in a long, long time. In a long time. It would be a major mistake to not move up, you know, if you can, to go get the guy this year. This is the class to do it. You missed out. And to be real with you, if we didn't miss out on a CJ Stroud last year, it'd be a little easier to say, oh, whatever. But that makes it that much more serious to watch a CJ Stroud. And we wanted to move up to get him. Ziegler, you know, wanted to go up and get him. We wanted to go up and get him, to watch him go to the playoffs in year one with the rookie head coach. Nah, bro, I'm not doing that. Go get him now. Go get him now. I'm not doing the waiting game anymore. Salute to pride and purpose. Sounds like Cliff makes the most sense at this point at Graphk. Yeah, I mean, he definitely is. Definitely probably the number one candidate. But there's a growing sense, though, purpose that Kubiak is the guy that they want to go get. A guy that is coached under Shanahan this year and has had some you know, success at the NFL level. So does it make the most sense because you can hire him today? Yes, and get it over with? Yeah. But it looks as though they're going to be a little patient and maybe play the waiting game to see if Kubiak wants to take the job after the Super Bowl. But it would be a major mistake if you don't have some type of backdoor, you know, type of agreement, because if you sit around and wait and Cliff Kingsbury goes back to USC or takes another job elsewhere, and then you miss out on Kubiak also, we can be in trouble. We can be in trouble this upcoming season at the coordinator spot on the offense. Salute to old school. For those who want Fields, can you honestly see him going toe-to-toe? Yes, old school. But let me say this. First of all, you're not going to see too many people go head-to-head with Mahomes, period. So you can't even put that kind of pressure on him, old school. At some point, you can only just hope that Mahomes, you know, kind of regresses and, you know, it just, but at the end of the day, who can really go toe-to-toe with Field? I mean, with Mahomes. I've seen him knock out every quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like let's just keep it a buck. But do I think that he can hold his own in the AFC West in the right system? And hell yeah. Justin Fields is a dynamic talent, man. I know a lot of people think he can't make all the throws and he's all legs, but, you know, the guy has the measurables. You know what I mean? He can take off in a blink of an eye for 70 yards. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have seen it. So, yes, you need a dynamic quarterback, you know, to be in the AFC West, to face the likes now of a Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and Andy Reid if he doesn't retire. So I do. Let me see. Okay, he didn't use the word mistake. Okay, well, I don't know. Either way, all I'm saying is, you know, I believe that this is the year that you got to go up and get it. And Watts, I agree with you. He says trading up from 13 to maybe 8 or 9 is more realistic. And maybe you get a Michael Penix there, right? Maybe you get a Bo Nix there. But yeah, but those top 3 names are already going to be off the board. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Drake Bay right there, regardless. If you're going to trade up, trade up. If you trade up to 8 or 9, I don't know what are you doing? Like you're giving up a lot of draft capital to go get that second wave of quarterbacks. To me, it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to do it right. In the words of the great Loonies, if you're going to do it right. Move up to the top 3, no matter what it costs, and go get your guy. Go get your guy. Yeah, Joe Brady took the OC job for the Bills. Yeah, B. Wayne, he's not going anywhere. Salute to my guy Wayne on a $2 donation. Salute to Gio as well on a $5 clip. 100% it's time to get our quarterback and build around him. No more journeymen and projects. Get the guy and capitalize on this defense And we're overdue. This is facts, Gio. Facts. This is the year to make it happen. Facts. Diva says, yo, Graph, I need to get your email. OakLosVegas@gmail.com. OakLosVegas for any business stuff or anything like that, you guys. Hit me on OakLosVegas at gmail.com. I'll put it in the comment section, Diva. Salute to my guy Gio, though. Yeah, you definitely got to go up and get your guy this year. Salute to the 1,000 people in the building. Salute the Primos. I agree. Raiders got to do their homework. If you're trading up, you have to know it's going to work. Make sure the QB is going to work out with the Raiders. Facts plus tax. You see. Who says the first wave is better? We don't know. Look, I'm going off of what I feel. Angry out. I mean, look, we know at this point we're all just whatever we feel and say. It's just how we feel. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying this is facts. Black Angry Dot. I'm just going off of what these guys look like on tape. I'm sorry. I love Michael Penix Jr. You guys know how he's always been the most realistic quarterback for me in this draft. But there's far the level of separation between him and a Caleb Williams and a potential Jaden Daniels, right? Because I've always said that boom or bust a guy with Jaden Daniels, but he's dynamic. He can use his legs. He can make all the throws. I'm sorry. If you look at the level of talent, there's separation there. Drake May, a guy that's also underrated with his legs that can make all the throws. I'm sorry. I think there is a second wave of guys, and I don't think the talent level is close at this point. But I could be wrong. And I still like Michael Penix. And if they go get him, I'm not against him. I watched some tape of him out there today at Alabama. I'm at the Senior Bowl throwing the football around and love it. I love it. I don't think there's not too many people out there to throw a prettier ball than Michael Penix Jr. Maybe it's because he's a lefty, and you know what I mean. But it's a beautiful thing to see. Calton, do you think? Yes, Herbert is definitely. I mean, it's proven I think he was a better college quarterback, and I think he'll be a better pro. Definitely, even though he hasn't won shit yet. But yeah, I do believe that Herbert is definitely a better quarterback than Bo Nix. Salute to Bo once again. How about Jim Bob Cooter, Colts OC, former Jags pass game coordinator? Name alone is worth a look. That name will work out there in Vegas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jim Bob Cooter. Jim Bob Cooter, bro. I know he hates his parents, bro. Salute to Chef, though. I'm good, brother. I'm good, brother. Salute to my brother.com once again. That is why I despise JMD and Z. How do you get a chance at generational quarterback like CJ from the Bucks and don't move up to add insult? Skip Jalen Carter, who was on the board. We have to get a QB. There's nothing else to say. Factory outlet, my brother. Couldn't have said it better myself. To watch what CJ Stroud has done out there in Houston, heartbreaking as Raider fans. Cowtown, hey, brother, you are more great. Difference of opinion, my brother. You're more than entitled to your opinion. I don't think that Bo Nix is anywhere near Justin Herbert in terms of talent at all. Like, I don't even think that there's a conversation that needs to be had about that, to be real, but you are entitled to your opinion, brother. Salute to the 1,000 people in the building. You guys wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So, Jers, I don't know if you've seen the interview that he had. I'm going to read this real quick. Salute to Jers for getting me back on task. Did you guys see this? Apparently, we definitely helped the Chiefs get back on the right trajectory in order to make a Super Bowl run. Salute to Pro Football Talk once again. And I quote, things look dire for the Chiefs when they lost to the Raiders on Christmas Day. Las Vegas beat Kansas City 20-14 in large part because the Chiefs offense surrendered defensive touchdowns on consecutive plays. But since then, the Chiefs haven't lost. The club defeated the Bengals in week 17 to clinch the AFC West. And even without several starters in week 18, defeated the Chargers 13-12. In the postseason, it's been victories over the Dolphins, Bills, and Ravens en route to the Super Bowl. Head coach Andy Reid said on Monday that the loss to the Las Vegas Raiders eventually turned into a positive. And here it is. I think that it was a good wake-up call for us. Reid said in a Monday video conference with reporters, they came out with great emotion. Antonio had them ready to go, but that emotion was the thing that jumped out at you that they played with. I think it gave our guys a nice little, for lack of a better term, a wake-up call that we need to step things up here, that things aren't just going to fall in our lap. And so we're taking everybody's best shot. And here's a team that went through some adversity and they stepped up and were able to present themselves like they did. We were able to learn from it and move on. I felt all along, though, we had the ability to do that. We just, like I said, needed a little kick in the tail there. So those are the words of the great head coach, Andy Reid. It looks as though we definitely gave them the proper kick in the ass. We just kicked them in the right direction, and now they're in our building, in our facilities, playing for a Super Bowl in Las Vegas. So there you have it. I think we should take this, you guys, as motivation moving forward. You know, we could have beat them twice this year. That would have eased this blow a little bit, right? We were up 14-0, 17-0 or some shit in the first game this season in Las Vegas. Yeah, 14-0, I believe. But yeah, Andy Reid said it himself. We definitely that was a kick in the mouth Christmas Day for those guys, and they learned from it, and they haven't lost a game ever since. Went in the playoffs, beat Miami, beat Buffalo, and beat the Baltimore Ravens. So there you have it. Manny, you're right. They got the last laugh, unfortunately. Facts. Salute to 10 Commandments. I appreciate you, brother, on the $20 donation. Raiders beat reported that Telesco was looking to improve team speed. We were the slowest team according to route weighted 40-yard dash times for wide receivers. Height, weight, speed draft from the third on. Your thoughts? I mean, you can look at it, 10 Commandments, and already see that the not so much speed at the wide receiver position. You got Jacoby, a bigger body wide receiver. You have Devontae, 30 plus years old now. I mean, he depends more on his route running ability and his intelligence as a wide receiver. And then you look at Hunter Renfrow. He's a shifty guy, but there's not a lot of speed there. And then we got Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker's the speed demon that we have. I mean, DeAndre Carter was supposed to be that speedster also. I think he's 30, 31 years old, but you didn't really see him out there on the offensive side of the football a lot at all. So I definitely look at that. There's not a lot of speed there outside of Trey Tucker. You're right. I mean, Jacoby, if you look at him on tape, and game speed's a little different than just watching guys, what I'm saying, just seeing guys 40s and all that other stuff. All right. Trey Tucker, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jacoby was a great wide receiver too for us. Over 800 yards in the air, 8 touchdowns. He had a phenomenal year for us. But yeah, in terms of speed, bro, we definitely didn't have it outside of Trey Tucker. You are right, sir. And even from the tight end position. Michael Mayer's not the fastest option out there. We went from Darren Waller, a speedster, and big athletic guy, to a Michael Mayer, and Austin Hooper, pretty slow as well. So I mean, he's up there in age. So yeah, no, I'm all for that. Get back to that Al Davis way. Go get a bunch of speed, on the outside and turn it up. You see what that has done for the likes of the Miami Dolphins. You got Waddle and Tyreek, 1-2 punch that can just literally run people off the field. You know what I'm saying? You can look at Gabriel. Just look at Gabriel Davis up there with Buffalo. Fast guy that can get it done out there in Buffalo. I know Diggs is getting a little bit more up there in age now, and he's not as fast as he once was, but that guy was a speed demon as well at one point. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I agree. 10 Commandments. I definitely think that we should improve that speed in terms of, our receiving options on the offensive side of the football. Definitely, man. Definitely. That definitely takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback. Definitely. Salute to 10 Commandments on the $20 donation, my brother. Salute to my guy Zon in the building. How serious is the Chip Kelly thing? I don't think it's serious at all. I just think that he's a guy that's probably trying to put some reports into the universe to see if there is any interest to bring him in back at the NFL levels on. People do this a lot in the offseason. They send their guys to put some reports into the universe to see if anything will stick. I just think that, there may be something there. There may be some legs there a little bit, but I don't think in terms of us, there's been no signs of us going out to get a Chip Kelly. None. Not saying it couldn't happen. It definitely could. We still need an OC, but I'm saying there's no ties from us to them. I mean, to him. So I have not heard the Raiders be connected to them at all outside of Mike Florio's report from Football Talk, which is more kind of just talk. You know what I mean? He just said, like, the Raiders need an OC. Chip Kelly needs a job. That's kind of what he said at this point, right? The Raiders need an OC. Chip Kelly needs a job. There's no real connection there. So I don't think it's serious at all, to be real. Let me see. I'm intrigued by Alex Van Pelt a tad bit. I'm not mad about that Raider, a guy that had to deal with a lot out there in Cleveland this last season. Deshaun Watson, even when he was playing, wasn't playing at a high level. You know what I'm saying? They lose their running back for the season. Nick Chubb, was out. They had to kind of figure that out. They used a young guy, James, out of I believe Cincinnati, right? The young pup that they drafted, kind of brought Hunt back and had that 1-2 punch. They ran the football pretty good. They brought a guy like Jay Flacco, or Flacco in that played at a high level until it really mattered the most in the playoffs. So look, I'm not against it. He definitely worked magic with what he had to deal with out there in Cleveland. I'm not against it. I just think there's better options. But I can see why you would be intrigued by Alex Van Pelt. I can see it because he made shit work when there was nothing to even work with. He kind of made chicken salad out of chicken shit. You know what I mean? Real talk. Salute to my guy, Michael. Hit that like button. Raiders, baby. Salute to my guy, man, Michael. I appreciate you on the $2 donation. Yeah, man, hit that like, you guys. I believe we only have like 200 thumbs up, man. We got 1,000 people in the building, man. Let's try and get this video north of 700 likes. Can we do that? Everybody hit that like button. It definitely helps the algorithm. It definitely helps what we do over here at OLV, man. Hit the thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. Let's get to 25K in the next month. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. We got over 1,000 people in the building. Yeah, Watts. Look, bro, not trading up for CJ Stroud was the last straw. That shit hurt, bro. It hurts. It hurt. Martin says, happy birthday to the Raiders. We're 64 years old today. Salute to Martin, my brother over the pond, man. Salute to my guy with a haymaker, man. Salute. No, man, I guarantee you he will be. For a guy that's speaking the way he's speaking, he's a little soft. He doesn't have that NFL body yet. You know what I mean? But for him to say this is my job to lose, hey, it sounds like a guy that's going to do whatever it takes to try and win that job. So he better be in the gym. I'm talking about in the weight room and in his playbook. Salute to my guy, Rube, in the building. My brother, if we get Clint or Cliff, offense has to be faster no matter what. Cliff needs speed on the outside at wide receiver. I agree. And Clint attacks the edges with fast guys. There you have it. Factory, brother. And look at all the weapons that those guys have had. Look at the weapons that they've had on the outside. Look at the Niners, man. All that talent, man. The Brandon Ayuk's and the Debo Samuels, and that shit is nasty, bro. That shit is nasty. To bring that kind of pedigree over to our offensive coordinator position, the way with the options that Clint has played with this past year with the Niners, man, that would be great for us in that offense moving forward, man. And, Cliff has also had some great talent out there in Arizona and at the collegiate level. Let me see. No, Frank, not at all. Not at all. You have to think of it like this, Frank. Chicago already has a guy that they went out and paid a crazy amount of money. They traded for Montez Sweat last season. They paid him a shit ton of money to be their number one guy. And Malcolm Kuntz is a guy that's only really had one good year of production. I think 7-8 sacks last year, right? And we still need another edge rusher. So I wouldn't want to move on from Malcolm Kuntz. He's still on a cheap, inexpensive deal. And I don't think Chicago will want anything to do with the Malcolm Kuntz in 3 first. I don't think that's enough at all. You probably have to add 3 second rounders, probably a couple thirds. I don't think that gets it done at all, my brother, for real. Let me see. Yep, Ben Johnson is definitely staying with Detroit. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Salute to my guy, Coach, in the building. We must make a collective vow to the NFL that the Chiefs will not win the division next year. They will bow along with the Chiefs to the Raiders. Salute to my guy, Coach, man. Something to keep an eye on, you guys. Something to keep an eye on, man. a lot of people are really they're talking about it, but they don't think it's a realistic thing here. Is that Andy Reid may step away from the game? You know, if they win a Super Bowl this year, he gets 3 of them. He may walk away. He may leave on top. He may leave on top, and then at that point, the Chiefs, they lose the brain of the operation. Right? They still have the heart, Patrick Mahomes, but they lose the brains of the organization. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real, you guys. I think that Andy Reid will definitely be thinking, or at least contemplating, retirement if they beat the Niners out there in Vegas for the Super Bowl. I do. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. I like Josh Uche. Been paid another under the radar defensive end that worked wonders out there in New England. You know what I mean? A guy that a lot of people were talking about potentially targeting before the trade deadline last year. So I'm not against that, but I love what we got with Malcolm Kuntz. We still got Tyree, who can kick inside and outside. And I think we're going to go get another edge rusher in this year's draft and probably the middle rounds. Salute to Big Al, my guy. You think Washington would trade with us? Why not? But, well, you know what? Let me say this, Big Al. You know what? I don't think there's a reason why they wouldn't be a trade partner with us, but they're not moving on from that second pick. They're not. It's apparent that Sam Howell is not their guy. No, they need a quarterback. They got a new ownership. They got a new coaching staff. There's no way they leave this year's draft without that number 2 pick. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building. I predict Eric Bieniemy is their next head coach. I don't think so. I think they give it to their defensive coordinator before they brought Eric Bieniemy back. There's a reason they let him go, you guys. Like, let's just keep it a buck. That dude actually took a lateral job. You know what I mean? And I know why he did it. He went to the Commanders to prove that he can, run an offense without Andy Reid being the brains behind the operation, right? But he took a lateral move. It was a lateral move. He went from being an OC in Kansas City to an OC in Commanders, and the Commanders OC shit. I mean, the Commanders offense shit the bed. So I don't know why they would bring back Eric Bieniemy. They probably just have, was it Spagnuolo be the head coach, the defensive coordinator, a guy that's been around football forever? I would assume they just keep it in-house. Let me see. Yes, Johnny. Yes, the same guy. The same guy, brother. His last send-off is winning a Super Bowl in our house. That would piss me off to the core. Yeah, I mean, either way, we're in for heartbreak regardless, you guys. If the Niners win, oh my God, I'm gonna be so hurt. If the Chiefs win, I'm gonna be so hurt. It doesn't even matter. Just at this point, you just gotta pick the lesser evil. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rooting for either team. You know what I mean? I hate both of them. These are the 2 teams I hate more than any other teams in the world. But it's kind of the lesser evil. And me being from Northern California and where most of my people are either Raider fans or Niner fans, I'm sorry. I'm a Northern California guy, a Northern California Raider fan. And it would hurt me even more to watch the Niners win in our house. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna have to hear it from everybody. I don't know any Chiefs fans. I know a few fake Chiefs fans that became Chiefs fans these past few years. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know any real ones. I know Niner fans that have been down with them forever. I can't live with that shit. My brother will pull up right down the street, pull up with Niner flags hanging out of his car to talk shit. I can't live with that shit. I can't live with it. Salute to Rube. So what do you think the market is for Hollywood Brown or Curtis Samuel? Curtis is a Debo type, who was one of my favorite and most underrated wide receivers. I agree. That, to be real with you, Rube, that would be a guy that I would take a look at. For those who have no idea who Curtis Samuel is, former Ohio State Buckeye, a guy that's played for the Commanders, and they just always have problems on the offensive side of the football, whether it's the O-line, the quarterback position, whatever. This is a guy that can give you reps at the running back position. This is a guy that you could put in the slot, put him outside. I am all for taking a look at Curtis Samuel, but Rube, this is the thing. I think somebody is going to pay him what's his name money? Christian Kirk money. He may get paid that kind of money because of the talent that he has. So one of these teams are going to pay him Christian Kirk money. I truly feel like that. And I'm not going to pay any crazy money. I'm in free agency for a wide receiver. I would love the likes of a Hollywood Brown or a Curtis Samuel, but they're going to get paid way too much money. And with Trey Tucker, under contract, a rookie deal, And there's some sneaky guys, Rube, that we're going to talk about in the mid to later rounds at the wide receiver position in this draft that you could potentially bring in to kind of serve that role. I think Hollywood Brown, I love him, great talent, but I would rather have the likes of a Curtis Samuel, a guy that I think is still, 26, somewhere around there. He's young still, right, Rube? A guy that can give you reps at the running back. He is kind of like that Debo Samuels type shit, but I think he gets paid crazy money. I think he gets paid a shit ton of money this offseason. For those who have no idea, Hollywood Brown and Curtis Samuel are both free agents. Both free agents. I'd rather get T. Higgins. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. He's going to get paid top wide receiver money. He will be paid wide receiver one money probably to a team that needs that number one wide receiver option, and we don't. Why would you pay T. Higgins when you got a Devontae Adams under contract and you have a Jacoby who is a true number two under contract? There's no need for it. Let me see. And Augie, that's another guy, bro, that people tend to forget about, right? We still have DJ Turner under contract. He came back. He's under, I believe, a future reserve deal too. He has one more year, I believe, right? And he's been a guy that served well for us as like a gunner in special teams, and another guy that has a lot of speed that we thought was going to be our Trey Tucker when we first brought him in as a UDFA out of Pitt, I believe, right? Was it Pittsburgh? So, yeah, we still have him under contract. That's some more speed. That was a great comment right there. We still have DJ Turner under contract. Another speedster. I would love to see him and Trey Tucker on the field together. That'd be fun. Salute to my guy, Ty Davis in the building. I know 20 new KC fans, my daughter's friends. Boom. And there you have it, Ty. There you have it. There you have it. Bunch of fake ones. I mean, this is the NFL, Raider. I mean, anything can happen, right? I mean, we see it year in and year out. We never thought that Devontae would be a Raider. Or a lot of people thought or assumed that he wouldn't be a Raider. And look at, boom, here he is now. You know what I'm saying? So Myers, I don't know. I know that was a Josh McDaniels guy. I know that he's the reason why he's a Raider and he has this, 3-4 year deal. But I think they're both going to be here. And I think with Jacoby being a guy that not only was a great receiving option for us, not only put up a ton of touchdowns with 8 this year, but a great blocking wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? To me, Jacoby Myers just does everything right at the wide receiver position. That was one of the bright spots that Josh McDaniels and Ziegler got it right with. And he's more of a cheaper option. I think it's only like, $11 million a season? I don't think you move on from that. You know what I mean? And from what I hear, he's a great locker room guy. His teammates love him as well. So I don't think you move on from Jacoby Myers. You know what I'm saying? That's a guy that can put up great numbers for you and be that solid, real wide receiver too, even potentially low wide receiver one if something happened, God forbid, with our wide receiver one. So, yeah, he's a complete wide receiver, Watts. Facts. He can do it all. Receiving, blocking, all of it. Salute to LV, my guy. Aren't you tired of washed up quarterbacks? I am, brother. It's time to give up whatever it is to take to move up and get a quarterback. Yes, I've been through all of them. I've watched us bring in veteran after veteran after veteran. I've watched us try the McGloins of the world. I've seen us bring in, Carson Palmers of the world. I've seen us bring in Jeff Georges of the world. I've been there when we brought in, every one of them. I've been a fan since the 80s. So, I've been there. I've seen it. I know. I'm sick of it. The Kerry Collins of the world, Tim Chubb. Yes, all those guys. I'm over it. Go get your guy. Go get your guy. I agree with you, LV. It's time. And in this draft, you can't afford to miss out. Yep, Watts. Yep. And what's funny? That what happened when we went out and got him in free agency, Watts? Everybody was like, "Oh my God, why did you go get him? He's a slot receiver. We already have our slot receiver in Hunter Renfrow." Well, guess what? Jacoby played all over the place. He wasn't just a slot guy. The guy played a lot on the boundary. Like, he played a lot on the perimeter, all over the place. He played on the left side, right side, slot. He could play everywhere, all over the place. That was one of the greatest pickups. Him, Marcus Epps, and Robert Spillane last year were blessings in disguise for us in free agency. Let me see. Yeah, bro. Jay Schrader. I had his poster on my wall. Black Sunday. I had his poster on my wall. The Matt Flynn's of the world. Bro, the Aaron Brooks of the world. The Goat Peterman of the world. Factory Outlet. Yes, and the Andrew Walters. But you know what, though? The thing is this. These weren't washed up guys. These are guys that we brought in. You know, Andrew Walter, the Tua Sopos. You know, now Aaron Brooks was a little bit up there. Matt Flynn, definitely, right? But some of those guys were young guys that we brought in ourselves. 10 Commandments. Height, weight, speed, draft from 3rd or 4th round. What do you mean 10 Commandments? Matt Schaub, too, adept. Matt Schaub. But what do you mean 10 Commandments? Are you saying from the 3rd round up, you start looking at that more of the measurables and more of the speedsters? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, I agree with you. You know what I mean? I think you take the best talent out there, you know, in round 1 and round 2. You got to take the best available people there for you. But if you want to value speed and you want to bring in some type of those guys, yes, you look at those mid to upper rounds. That's where you can bring in some of those potential speed guys to help us turn these things around on the offensive side of the football. Okay, you said yes. Okay, yeah. Yep, I agree with you. Yep. And look what we did last year. We did that last year. The 3rd round, we took that Darren Waller pick and flipped it and brought in Trey Tucker, one of the fastest guys in the NFL. So, yes. Yeah, Bo, we can definitely afford to bring – this is the thing, you guys. I don't think people realize that if you move on from Hunter Renfrow and Jimmy Garoppolo, you have that frees up like $25 million alone right there. And there's a very good chance that you move on from both of them. That's like $25 million, maybe even north of that. Just moving on from those two guys of extra draft capital or extra money that you can spend in free agency. So why not? Why couldn't you? But to be real with you, it just depends on what Josh is asking for. I'm not giving Josh no crazy amount of money. Zeus started putting that shit together at the end of the year, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We still got some young guys. We don't know what we have in Britton Brown. We don't know what we have in Sincere McCormick if he ever sees the football field. We don't know if they want to go get another running back in this year's draft. I mean, there's a shit ton of running backs that you can look at in the mid to later rounds. So, but I'm gonna be real. I see some people saying that he's gonna want $10 million. I see some people saying I'm only gonna pay him $4.5 million, which is blasphemy. Josh Jacobs definitely deserves way more than that. I'm just one of them guys that I'm just willing to pay that 6.5 to maybe tops $8 million a year for Josh Jacobs. But yeah, we can afford to bring him back. It's just I don't want to pay him a crazy amount of money. But I wouldn't disrespect him and try to bring him in at $4 million, $4.5 million or anything. I think $7 million is kind of that median right there where you can meet him at and it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Think it like this. Miles Sanders took $6.5 million and he was one of the highest paid running backs last year in free agency. Went to Carolina and shit the bed. Yeah, they had no offensive line. I feel bad for him. But yeah, $6.5 million. I think $6.5, $7 million, somewhere in the range, nothing more than $8 million. Let me see. Damn, Kyle Bowler and EJ Manuel, Raider Ryan. Holy shit, my brother. Holy shit. Vaughn, I'm not shocked. I mean, I wouldn't look. That's not a must for me. It's not a must to bring Josh Jacobs back. I know a lot of people value him a lot more than I do. I love Josh Jacobs. Don't get me wrong. Like former first-round pick, homegrown talent, wants to be there. I love Josh Jacobs. But, I also understand the market value of that position. And I also understand that, that is a situation where you can go get a young guy and groom him and play those young guys. It's a young man's game at the running back position. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a CMC or a Derrick Henry that, are just physical specimens that just get it done year in and year out. Salute to my brother Ridge back in the building. Salute, Graphk. From what Andy Reid said, if the Chiefs win, they better all take a diamond each out of their rings and send them rocks to the Raiders headquarters. Factory, my brother. If we were the ones that woke them up and woke their games up and helped them never lose a game since, yeah, man, hey, chip us off a little bit, man, because it's already going to hurt enough to see if the Chiefs win it. They're 4-time champions now, and now they're over us. They're over us. They literally own the AFC West at this point. You know what I mean? They think about that. They pass up us and the Broncos. You know, you go, boom, four. 1 Super Bowl. Boom. Yeah, man, give us half of that. Give us half of that, man. The ass whooping got y'all there. Give us half of that. Salute to my brother, man. Rule, once again, I appreciate you, King. Higgins, Calvin Ridley, which Calvin Ridley's a guy that I think will be a lot less expensive because of, you know, the production wasn't there last year, the suspension the year prior, you know, for the gambling and shit like that. That's definitely a name that I would love to keep an eye on. Hollywood Brown, Michael Pittman, another name a lot of people aren't talking about out there with Indianapolis. And Mike Evans, I think will be A tier at wide receiver, A+ wide receiver draft class. Curtis could go for cheap. Okay, maybe. But think about this. There's going to be someone that's going to miss out on those top guys, a T. Higgins, a Calvin Ridley, a Hollywood Brown, a Michael Pittman. He could potentially, Curtis could end up on a bad team making a shit ton of money. Rue. I can see Chicago paying him a shit ton of money and being, you know, the guy next to DJ Moore. I know they got Darnell Mooney, you know, and shit like that, but I could see him getting paid a shit ton of money to go to a bad team. And watch running back George Alani's tape, certified. Oh, I have, Rube. You guys, you know, I knew who he was previously, but you guys kept talking about him. I have watched some of his tape. You know what? I can't even say this. Let me be honest. I've watched some of his highlight reels. I've not gotten a chance to really break down tape from his games, which we will do at some point. I definitely want to talk about the running back class at some point, but I went and kind of checked out some of the highlight reels and why he's a great talent. He is a great talent. Let me see. But it's the thing, Ronnie, you got to realize, man, most of the time, 10 out of 10 of these writers aren't going to be fans of the Raiders. And a lot of these companies won't hire actual Raider fans because there's no objectivity there. You know what I mean? There's no objection. You know what I mean? It's just going to be, oh, you know, happy. I mean, look at everybody always calls me optimistic Graphk. He's always too happy. He hypes up every pick that we bring in. He hypes in every free agent because I'm a Raider fan. And I want to see these guys succeed. You know, these guys get paid to bring both sides of the coin. So I don't expect Hondo to be a Raider fan. I think that Hondo loves Raider Nation. I think he loves the fans. I think he loves doing this job for this fan base. A definite, but I mean, I wouldn't unfollow him, brother, because he's not a Raider fan. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. You want unbiased people in the building. You know what I mean? Could you imagine having Shieldmore in there? Like we would just be like, we love this pickup. We love this pickup. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll give some real solid shit. If we don't like something, we'll tell you we don't like something. But we're Raider fans, and we want everything that we bring, everything or everyone that we bring into work. You know what I mean? So realistically, Manny, I think it's this week. I do. I think it's this week. They may thug it out a little bit and wait until the Super Bowl's over to see if Clint Kubiak wants the job. But I realistically think it's going to be this week. Let me see. How is did somebody say DJ Turner's a scrub? I mean, didn't that guy damn near didn't he get like a all-pro special teams vote? Yeah, I mean, if you want to say he's not that good, you know, because of, you know, him not getting the ball on the offensive side of things, you know, enough, cool. I mean, great. But I think he's carved out a great role on special teams. I could have swore he got like a all-pro nod at special teams. So I don't know how you could call DJ Turner a bum. Like, he carved out a role. It worked. It's like, you know, a lot of us in the nation, you know, we ended up calling a guy, you know, that was a corner for us and played a lot of special teams for us, a bum, right? A bum that ended up going to Green Bay and ended up being an all-pro talent, went to the Pro Bowl and everything. So we got to chill with that whole bum shit. We got to chill with the bum shit, man. You know what I mean? We really, truly do. We even, you know, myself, you know, when I was younger and I started first doing this, I was running my mouth crazy too. But we have to stop doing that. Like, because that guy has carved out a role. He's going to be great for us in special teams. And I think only the casual football fans, you guys don't understand the severity of having a great special teams unit. And DJ Turner is one of those leaders on that unit. He's played phenomenal ball for us, you know, as a gunner and all that other good stuff. You know what I mean? Every time you see a football being down near the end zone, it seems as though, you know, he is right there near the football. causing fumbles and all that good stuff. But let's not allow DJ Turner to be the next Keyshawn Nixon, you guys. A guy that we all beat up a lot, that didn't play well for us at corner, wasn't, this and that. And then Rich Bisaccia, salute to him, took him out there to Green Bay, found his strengths and turned that into something. And now he's an all-pro guy. We got to chill with that shit, man. DJ Turner's playing a phenomenal role for this team. Can't beat that kid up at all. You know what I mean? And as a UDFA out of Pittsburgh, what did you expect from him anyway? You know what I mean? Like, real talk. Like, he's already outplaying the money that he's getting. So, he said Devin Duvernay, James Proche 2, wide receiver was speed. Are you talking about Q guys that are available in free agency? Is that what you mean? I don't think that you want to go find speed in free agency. Just go draft one. I don't really want to look at wide receivers in free agency, you guys. I'm gonna be totally real with you. With Devontae under contract, with Jacoby Myers under contract, with Trey Tucker under contract, still shit, Hunter Renfrow under contract. I'm not looking at guys in free agency. I'm looking at the draft. I'm not looking at these guys in free agency. I don't want to bring in any wide receivers. Me personally, I don't. Salute to Q though, and you definitely hit it on the head though, bro, with the speed factor. I hear you, brother. Salute to Mongo. Salute. Who do you think is the best O lineman in the draft? Yeah, Rasul Douglas too, Miguel, but he's still a corner though, right? Cut the checks as Graphk. What site do you get all your hats from? Bro, anywhere I go, I find them, whether it's in Vegas or when I go home to Sacramento, I just find these just all over the place. eBay, Amazon. But a lot of the times I go to Lids. I got this at Lids. Junior says he forced a fumble against the Chokers on a return. Facts. Let me see. All right, boom. Okay, let's get back to the question. Who do you think the best O lineman in this draft? I mean, there's a shit ton of them. Mongo, there's the young pup, I believe it's Latham out of Alabama, which I'm very afraid of Alabama guys on the O-line. I'm going to be real with you. But he's a great talent. I mean, there's some great guys coming out of Notre Dame, at the guard and tackle spots. I love Joe Alt. I mean, that's one of my favorite linemen in this draft. And there's a bunch of guys, on the offensive line coming out of Georgia, at the center position and guard spots. Then there's some young kids coming out of Penn State that are phenomenal talent. Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State, right? I mean, there's a shit ton, bro. Like Mongol, there's a lot of talent, bro. A lot of talent on that O-line in the trenches on the offensive side of the football in this draft. Like a lot. Fuaga, Eddie, another great talent, right? Just a lot. And he's out of Oregon State, I believe. I think he's out of Oregon State. Phenomenal talent. So a lot. There's a lot. Like we're probably if that's why I wouldn't be shocked if we stuck at 13 and we missed out on a quarterback and we brought a veteran in off the streets, like it was a Russell Wilson or a Kirk Cousins, which I don't think we're going to pay him it sounds as though he wants $45 million a season, $90 million guaranteed. Crazy shit. But I wouldn't be against them identifying one of those guys. If you could trade back in the first, if you miss out on your quarterback, go get one of those linemen, because there's gonna be some great talent even at the end of the first round. But there's some of my favorites. I'm a Joe Alt guy. I'm a Notre Dame guy. You know what I mean? I'm a Notre Dame guy. I love Pran out of Georgia, the center. You know what I'm saying? And I like Cooper Beebe a lot. I do. I like him out of K-State. Pace, I did not see your other super, brother. What did you ask? Just put it in the chat right now, and I'll look for it. I did not see your other super. Or you know what? Let me go look for it real quick. Salute to everybody here in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Pace, my apologies, brother. Here we go. Boom. Got it. All right. Hondo's killing me. First, an article that we shouldn't trade up and roll with AOC. Now we should resign James as starting center. I didn't see that. Cap, I like Mims out of Georgia too. I do too. But I haven't been reading a lot of articles and stuff like that. I've kind of been just doing my own thing. But I didn't see that. But I'm gonna be real with you. I disagree with both. I'm trading up and I'm not running with AOC. And I'm definitely not re-signing Andre James in a deep center class. There's just no reason for it. Dan, there you go. Van Pran. He would be nice at center. Or Powers Jackson, the young kid out of Oregon. There's two great options right there at the center position. So if he did say that, Pace, and salute to my guy Hondo, I disagree with both. Don't bring Andre James in. Go get a cheap option in the draft and trade up. Trade up. Ridge says, if we stay at 13 and the quarterbacks are gone, who do you draft? DT, OT, corner, or best available at any position? I think that Tom Telesco goes best player available, Ridge, like he always does in the first round. But me personally, if there's some talent that's going to be available there, I'm assuming that maybe Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama, the corner, still be available at 13. If Newton is available out of Illinois, my favorite defensive tackle in this draft, if he's available there at 13, I'm not against building the trenches and going to get him and match him up with Tyree and Malcolm and Max. That could be one of the greatest defensive lines in the league. And then maybe you look at potential O-line help. Maybe you do look at one of these guys like a Cooper Beebe or one of those centers if Van Pran is there at 13. So there's going to be a lot of talent, but I do believe that Telesco is going to take the best player available, and I would assume that if these two guys are available, maybe it would be a Kool-Aid McKinstry, another corner. You need some great corners in the AFC West, or Newton, and I think that Newton may be available. Nate Wiggins as well, Brave, the young kid out of Clemson. He may be there at 13 too. Not against that at all. And who cares? I think this was a guy that a lot of people were assuming that Hondo was talking about. A guy that can come in and take over as the OC. The connection there with him and Antonio Pierce. They're friends. Antonio Pierce has leaned on Adam Gase. He's been in the building. He's been a head coach. All that other stuff. That was the name that I was assuming. I don't think that Hondo was talking about Chip Kelly at all. I think this name just kind of popped out of left field because of Florio. I think that he was talking about Adam Gase. That's who I think he was talking about. Somebody said Patrick Queen. I'm not going to pay a crazy amount of money for a guy that I'm a fan of Patrick Queen, but he's going to get paid a shit ton of money. And you got to pay Spillane. We got Divine Diablo's rookie deal about to be coming up soon. We got some young talent at the linebacker position. I don't want to pay a crazy amount of money to bring in a Patrick Queen when I think Spillane deserves to get paid. And at that point, you're not paying two linebackers. I'm saying just keep drafting young guys at the linebacker position. I still want to see what Amari Burney can do. Luke Masterson has been pretty good for us as well. So some of these young guys, I want to continue to see their development. Can Divine Diablo continue to put it all together? Like, I don't want to pay a crazy amount of money to Patrick Queen in free agent. There's no way in hell I'm doing that when Spillane deserves every penny. I know he has 1 year left on his deal, but he has outplayed that deal. You got to make sure that you make him your highest paid linebacker this season and give him a nice chunk of change. But I'm not paying Patrick Queen. I'd rather draft another linebacker. Yeah, exactly, Ma. All pro this season. Got to stop playing Madden. He's going to break the bank. Way too much money. And that's a name, Reek, that you'll probably hear a lot about, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Out of Clemson. Steel Cage, my guy. The center from Oregon is a beast. Senior Bowl, yeah. Jackson Powers. That guy is a monster. He's a monster. Him and Pran are my two favorite centers in this draft. So you can't go wrong with either one of those guys. Salute to my guy, Steel Cage. Yeah, I seen that Mel Kiper shit, Dan. Bro, I don't even watch. I watch sometimes for the entertainment factor, but I don't take his word for it at all anymore. When I was younger, I used to look at Mel Kiper and those guys and be like, damn, they know this shit, right? Then you get older and you start really analyzing the draft more for yourself. And you start realizing like some of these guys just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm not saying that Mel Kiper doesn't know football because he definitely does, but I understand now why this guy really pretty much works 1 to 2, 3 days a year. like some of the shit that he be saying, he's definitely a doofus, man. Like real talk. Like there's no way. But I definitely seen his mock draft and I thought that shit was hilarious. Yeah, he definitely, I do believe he did say Jamarcus Russell was going to be an all-time great. You see. Only break the bank for Chris Jones. I agree with you, bro. Or a Jalen Johnson. Those are the two guys, or a Christian Wilkerson. If they don't franchise tag him or pay him, those are the only three guys that I will be willing to part major money with. Christian Wilkerson, because he's young and on the upswing. Chris Jones, because he's a phenomenal all-pro talent. And Jalen Johnson, I think he's going to be one of the greatest young corners for years to come. Yeah, and I know Sanjit loves O-lineman, man. Salute to Sanjit. I know, but he, one thing I love about Sanjit, man, he's going to hype up some O-lineman. He's going to hype up some O-lineman, bro. Like, real talk. And I'm not against that, but he's still a mid-round grade to me. I got a mid-round grade on him. I got a mid-round grade, maybe third, fourth round a grade on a young pup out of Florida. If you go get him in the mid to later rounds, Reg, if he's available, I'm not against it. But one thing Sanjit gonna do, he's definitely gonna hype up them O-linemen. Definitely. Shit, I think I see my guy hype up Alex Leatherwood. Shit. Salute to Cat, man, my boy. So, Graphk, are these queeps using the UNLV locker room, or is the NFL going to punish us even more and let them in ours? Oh, they're in ours. They're in ours. They're not going to UNLV. They are in our building, in our facilities, shitting in our toilets, pissing in our urinals, taking selfies with Taylor Swift in our locker room. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. But they are in our facilities. They're in our facilities. Let me see. It's Jeremiah Trotter right here. That's the best linebacker in this draft out of Clemson. Cap, well, Allegiant Stadium is. We have different. We have headquarters, you know what I'm saying, at Henderson where our team practices and works out. You know what I mean? So that's our facility. That's our own shit. We do share Allegiant Stadium with UNLV, though. Yeah, bro. Think about it like that, man. Think about it. That's nasty work. Yep, Reg, there you go. Chiefs are in headquarters using our locker room in Allegiant. Yep. Facts. Let me see. Nasty work, Reg. Nasty work, bro. Nasty work. Somebody got to hit these two teams with a mean case of food poisoning or some shit, bro. Real talk. Somebody got to hit these guys with a mean case of food poisoning. I remember the Kings, rest in peace to one of the GOATs, Kobe Bryant. I remember Kobe just magically ended up with food poisoning in the hotel. Hey, man, look. We got to make some calls, man. We got to make some calls. Man. Mick Raider, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm definitely going to check that out, man. Salute to my Oos, man. Me and Oos don't even talk about Raiders shit. We talk about wrestling. Like, real talk. We were literally typing back and forth the whole Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? We don't even talk about Raiders shit. So I don't even, most of the time, I don't even know what other people have going on, but I definitely seen somebody post something on Instagram with that. So I'm definitely going to check that out. Salute to my Ooses, man. Fitz and Samoan. Definitely going to check it out. You like trading up in the draft and then paying some free agents and Kuntz with a rookie contract, with a rookie deal? Wait, Joe, what do you mean? You like trading up in the draft and then paying some free agents and Kuntz with the rookie QB contract? Do I like that? Look, at this point, I'm doing whatever it takes. Look, I like whatever it takes to move up, Joe, to go get the guy. Let's just say that. We're gonna have a lot of money in free agency anyway. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we can go pay a bunch of guys. And I think this year Telesco's gonna be really smart in free agency because we already have a lot of parts on this team. You can go get a superstar corner or a superstar defensive tackle. You can pay for that because we already have a lot of solidified positions. You know, the corner spot, we still got to find that true number 2. next to Jack Jones, but Jack Jones will be out there. We got Nate Hobbs, our slot guy. We don't know if Jacorian Benton is going to be that guy on the other side. You can go pay a massive amount of money to bring in the corner and then not have to worry about the safety spot because you got Merrick under his rookie deal. You still got Marcus Epps on one more year on his deal, right? So we're all those positions. We have a lot of positions filled already. In free agency, spend big. Go spend some of that big money. Go get a Jalen Johnson or go get a Chris Jones. Swing for the fences because now you can do it. You can do it. Before we had so many holes that you had to go get the Marcus Epps of the world, the Robert Spillanes of the world. I understood why they were moving the way they were moving last year. But now, and they both panned out really well for us. So no shade to them. But you could take a swing in this year's free agency because we have a shit ton of money. We're going to free up a shit ton of more money by probably moving on from Hunter Renfrow and Jimmy G. And then we can restructure some more deals. We can have a lot of money in free agency. And I'm swinging for the fences, man. Why not? If the Chargers are swinging for the fences and going to get a hardball, if KC wins another Super Bowl, if Sean Payton is swinging big and getting rid of Russell Wilson, you know what I mean? And he may move up to go get a quarterback in this year's draft too. You got to swing for the fences, man. You got to swing for the fences. But I don't know in terms of paying Kuntz yet, Joe. I don't really know yet, man, because I want to see if he can still replicate what he did last year. Right at the end of the year, he started getting it all together because he started seeing the field. I'm gonna be real. I would probably go through half of next season trying to figure out, okay, can he continue this production? If he can, you pay him. But I'm not paying Malcolm Kuntz this offseason. I'm not using any of that money and paying him. Former third-round pick. He will be a free agent next offseason. I'm not paying him. I'm paying Spillane. I'm giving Spillane money. I'm paying him. He's a veteran. He earned it. Kuntz, I need to see more of that. More of that. See more of that. More production. And if he can continue to do that into the season, I'll pay him. I'll pay him. Jamal, you can't. Yeah, you could. You could if you really wanted to. You could do that. Franchise him. But I'm waiting to pay Malcolm Kuntz. I don't think it's even close right now to be paying him. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. With Spillane, I think he has like $1.8 million on the books this year. 1 year left for like 1.8, 1.4. That's disrespectful. Go pay that man immediately. He earned it. He put his body on the line. He's out there playing with half a finger and shit. You know what I'm saying? Pay that man big bucks. Salute to my brother, man, Raider Ryan. Queefs using our facilities is recruiting in a way. All right? With Willie Snead, Chris Jones. Hey, y'all see what we working with? Pull on up. Or not Willie Snead, but I said Willie Snead. Former Raider great. Was it Janarius Snead or whatever? Yeah. Extend dump truck now. Factory. Salute to my brother Hammer in the building, man. Top 50 free agent list is out. We got to do it live and break it down based upon our needs. Chris Jones is the number 1 ranked free agent. Hey, we should do it tonight. I'm down. I think me and Wasted may have a show tonight. But I'm down. We could do that this week. I'm definitely down to do that. Definitely. That'd be fun. Chris Jones would be epic. Facts. That would be the cherry on top. Could you imagine a Chris Jones in between or next to Tyree Wilson, next to Max Crosby, next to Malcolm Kuntz? You can't stop that. You can't stop that. You can't. You just can't. You can't stop that. That content. Salute to my guy Dan, man. Let me see. But yeah, man. He said M85 says separate it into 2 shows, 25 and 25. I like that. But we do long form content. So it's nothing against just doing one show and just doing it like that. We could do one show, M85. It might be a 3-hour long show, but hey, I'm all for it, man. Whatever you guys want. We're here to provide content, man. So if you guys want to do one show or 2 shows, it doesn't matter. But I'm not against doing a full length show. Just breaking down the top 50 talent. Because it's going to be quicker than what we assume, what we would think anyway, because a lot of those guys we wouldn't even need on our team. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of those names we're going to go fly by quick. So, Cliff, Gustavo, Cliff, over Chip all day, every day. Let me see. Hey, Mark, man, why don't you pay me? You pay me, and then we'll turn off the monetization on YouTube. How about that? So you don't get any more ads, man. How about you pay me, and I'll just turn the monetization off, and we'll just kick back and have fun. How about that? How about that? Best player available. Best player available. Long live. Best player available. If you don't trade up to get the quarterback, me as a GM, I'm trying to do everything possible to go steal one of those top 3 picks from the Commanders, Patriots, or the Chicago Bears. That's my first line of defense, is trying to trade up to get one of those spots to go get the likes of a Jaden Daniels, Drake May, or Caleb Williams. But if not, if none of those guys are available at 13, you could potentially trade back in the first round, pick up some more draft capital, and just take one of those right tackles or guards, or you could take one of those stout offensive linemen. But if I'm at 13 and all the top quarterbacks are off the board, you can still be looking at the likes of a Kool-Aid or a Newton, which I'm not against. But me personally, if I'm the GM, I'm putting my GM cap on. I'm trading up. I'm doing everything in the world. I'm trading the farm for it. I don't give a shit. I'm mortgaging the future to go up to the top 3 to go get one of those guys. Preferably one of the top 3 guys. Let me see. John says, I'll put you on the payroll, Graphk. Mark, then shut up. How about that? Yo, salute to everybody in the building. Wipe their feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed yet, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. Do any rookie quarterbacks make you nervous about being able to handle living in Vegas? It's a factor we don't talk about enough, I don't think. No, not with Antonio Pierce in the building. Not with the guys that we have around us, the Devontae Adams of the world, the Max Crosby, a guy that is a major advocate for sobriety and making sure he keeps his arm around his guys. I'm not too much worried about it. I'm not. But if there was one guy that you probably would have to worry about, it'd be the most eccentric person in this draft, would be Caleb Williams. But no, I'm not worried about anything, especially Jaden Daniels. This would be the perfect scenario. Him there with us, a dynamic quarterback under his guy, Antonio Pierce. Like that would be just the most perfect situation, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. I think Antonio Pierce being in play is a guy that will definitely hold his players accountable. Will also let them know if you guys need anything, you make sure you hit me up or you hit one of our people up to come get you. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not at all, Joe. Salute to EBK. Who do you really want as OC? Need a young mind. At this point, man, with me, it's between Kubiak and Cliff Kingsbury. And I think it's going to end up being Kingsbury. And I want to see us kind of get back to that old Raider brand of football, throwing the football all over the place. Young bull. I know a lot of people don't like the air raid offense. I love it. I love watching quarterbacks letting that shit fly. But the thing is, you got to get that right quarterback for that system, and you have to make sure you have the right offensive line in order to make that air raid offense work, because they're going to be blocking for some additional time. You know what I mean? And QB is going to need enough time to get rid of that football. You know what I mean? So I love the potential air raid offense in Las Vegas. You just have to have that quarterback that can run it and that O-line that can block for him. And I think this is the right offseason to go out and get both. Graphk, would you interview one of our own guys? I like Scott Turner. I think he just got an interview elsewhere as well. Don't quote me on that, but I could have swore I read somewhere where he's having an interview. I think is it New England or somebody? I think it may have been New England for their OC position. But I love Edgar Bennett. I love Edgar Bennett. I love that he's still here. I think that he does his job exceptionally. Wide receiver coach. I would keep him where he needs to be. You know what I mean? Maybe at some point, maybe you look at him as an OC, but I think there's better candidates out there, TN08. But I love Edgar Bennett. I love what he brings to this team, the knowledge of the position, being the wide receivers coach. But Scott Turner, no. I think it was a big watching Bo Hardegree get the OC position over Scott Turner spoke volumes about what these guys thought about Scott Turner. So I'm cool. But I do love Edgar Bennett, but I think he needs to stay where he is. And just me personally. Salute the Rube. What is Leonard Williams' market? If we miss out on Chris Jones, I love to bring in a true Raider. I'm pretty sure he won't break the bank. I mean, he's already gotten his big contract, Rube, right? He's already gotten this big contract. So, and I know he would love to come back home and play for the team that he loves. He grew up in Southern California, grew up a Raider fan. I would love it. Let me, you know what? Let me see. Leonard Williams market value. Let me see. Babe, I'm live. Let me call you back. Let me see. So his market value right now, let me see. Boom. Salute to everybody here in the building. $16.7 million. $16.7 million. And I'm not against that. I'm not against that. That's cool. Market value is 3 years, $50 million. An average salary of 16.7. I'm cool with that. I'm not against that at all. 8 years of experience. A guy that if you need to, you can kick inside or you can keep him inside. You can kick him outside here and there. You know what I'm saying? A guy that can play some DN for you and some DT. I'm about that. I like that. It's not a lot of money either. Freddie says, Graphk, if we traded the number one hypothetically, would you take Caleb or Jaden? See me? I mean, I'm not passing up on Caleb Williams. You know, I would understand if we moved up and got Antonio Pierce's guy. I get it. I understand. Heisman Trophy Award winner, the familiarity there. He's been around the kid since he's been a kid. I understand. I get it. So if we went up to 1 and they took Jaden Daniels, I understand why. But me personally, if you trade up to 1, there's only one guy that you go get, and that's Caleb Williams. That's it. If I'm trading up Freddie and I'm giving up mortgage in my future, I'm going up to get Caleb Williams. There's only one guy. But if we traded up and did that, I wouldn't be shocked if, you know, these guys went and got Jaden Daniels. But I'll tell you this, Tom Telesco is very familiar with Caleb Williams. He's been in LA for forever. He knows what kind of game Caleb Williams brings to the table. I think, you know, being in the LA area and being able to watch him very closely at USC, I think he knows what he brings to the table. So it's simple, you guys. If you move up, you go get Caleb Williams. And I think Tom Telesco knows that too. I don't think if you trade to the top 3 and you miss out on Caleb Williams, definitely see Jaden Daniel as an option. But if there's only one real answer there, and it's Caleb Williams. So, but yeah, man. With that being said, you guys, I appreciate you guys as always. I know we still almost have 900 people in the building and coming up on 2 hours. We supposed to be live tonight. We may be on Waste's channel doing an interview. So stay tuned for that. If not, I'm all for doing another show tonight, you guys. If you guys want to, we can, you know, if this show does not happen tonight, I think Hammer has the Oos coming on tonight as well. I think him and Samoan are going to do something. But I'm down to do a late night show and break down free agency. That'd be fun. I always have fun doing these free agent shows. Those are always entertaining to me. So, but either way, I think you're going to see us back regardless tonight. So other than that, man, as always, I appreciate you guys. Salute to all the new members. Salute to everybody in the chat, non-members. I appreciate you guys. This shit does not work without you guys. So salute once again. I appreciate you. As always, I think this Chip Kelly stuff is just fabricated nonsense. I don't think that he's a realistic option at this point. I could be wrong, but I think it's still Cliff Kingsbury and Clint Kubiak's job to lose. But yeah, other than that, man, we talked about Andy Reid and, you know, what that Christmas loss meant to them and so on and so forth. And we talked about a few other things. Other than that, man, we may be back tonight once again. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. As always, I'm out. 1. That's what I'm talking about.